What's up, bro? Welcome back to another video. Yeah, this video is gonna be raw and honest and upfront. Maybe talking about my gear usage, when I used it, what I used, and why I'm never using it again. So, I got first introduced to gear in 2016, around October, by a schoolmate of mine. So he was a jack dude. We'd drive to the gym after school and train. And back then, I didn't really know it was gear. So it was called Anadrol, I think old formula. I thought it was a pro hormone, apparently. So at the gym that we were training at, there was a store. Was Okay, I'm not gonna mention the name, but the store, I don't remember if it was downstairs or opposite the gym. I'm not sure. I think it was opposite the gym or downstairs. But anyways, so okay, let me rewind. So this is before I got the Anadrol from this mate of mine, this gym bro of mine. So there's this gentleman who was working there at the supplement store, and I tell him like, "Hey yo, bro, I wanna get jacked. I wanna put on some muscle. What should I do? What should I take?" And then he recommends like a way to eat, and then I ask him, "What do you think about Anadrol?" It's like it's a pro hormone brew. You can take it. But I think it was my ignorance as well. You can take it, but just know that you will get into trouble. So I wasn't a rugby player, or like I played rugby, but bro, I played like sevenths. I wasn't a serious rugby player. I was actually a footballer. I played football and I played basketball. Yeah. So we didn't have like all that testing and all those things. Okay. I take the Anadrol. Also, I tell this mate of mine, he's like, so I went to this oak. He told me about Anadrol. He told me that there's a new formula and there's an old formula. At that shop, they only had the new formula. So he's like, nah, you should hop on the old formula. It's much stronger. You'll see gains. So I'm like, alright, bet, connect me. He's like, okay, tomorrow, bring the money. I'll bring it for you. Bet, I bring the money. He gives me the stuff. I start taking it. I think I start taking it final exams, grade 11. So I'm taking this, I'm training like I think once a week, and then there were times where I wasn't even training. So there was another gym here, ICAS, the gym that I'm training at now. So that's when I first got introduced to this gym towards the end of 2016. I'm training there. And then there was like this whole scandal of like the keys going missing, so I couldn't really train. So my mate and I, whom I went to the same school with, he was my next door neighbor, and we would we'd just jog around the hood. So we'd lift weights and then jog around the hood. If the gym was closed, we'd just jog around the hood. Yeah. So I'm on this stuff, bro. I feel myself like, looking fuller. I'm looking fuller. I'm actually feeling fuller. Months go by, I'm still not having consistent training sessions. I'm training sometimes I'm not. And I'm only training chest, arms, shoulders, maybe some back. I wasn't even training legs at that time. So yeah, fast forward like 2 months later, matric, start of the year, I come back and everyone is just like, holy smokes. I think it didn't register how much I was putting on. Like I was doing push-ups but I wasn't training that consistently, trust me. Yeah, I wasn't training that consistently, but I got big. I put on some size. everyone's just like, what have you been taking, bro? And I wouldn't lie. I was like, no, yo, I've been gymming, bro. I've been gymming. Yo. I wasn't even that consistent. So like, this bro is like my best mate. Still good friends. So now, so he spent the holidays with me. So he was also saying, bro, like you look big. Like what's happening? You look big. You look big. And I told him exactly what I was taking. So I'd just be doing push-ups. I remember we were on holiday in the South Coast that time. And yeah, we took some pictures. We were like at some water park, and I'm like, what? I look at my chest. I'm like, damn, yeah, pretty insane. But anyways, fast forward to matric. So this is when I actually started training more consistently. This is the beginning of 2017 in matric. So we still going to this gym. On days that I can't go to that gym, I'm using the school gym, but I'm training nonetheless. Like I'm training, I'm lifting. You know, I think like three times a week I'm lifting. Now I'm really getting vascular, and I'm actually, you know, looking good. So I don't know how long like that stayed in my system. I still have to actually research that, how long that stayed in my system. And I'm putting on some gains, bro. But okay, throughout the whole course of matric, I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything throughout the whole course of that year. But taking that, I'd say, sustained me long term. So the whole of matric, I think that's the year that I put on the most muscle, looked the most like started looking aesthetic. That year, 2017, my matric year. Yeah, so yeah, I'm training with matric. Like if people officially calling me a scorer, you know, it feels good. I like it. You know, back then, you know, the highs, you know, sometimes you didn't even have to speak. My body would do the speaking. You know, back in my old sinful life. So yeah, it's that, bro. And I'm trying to think now, when was my next cycle? But I just trained natty throughout 2018. I took a gap year, didn't go to varsity, so I was training like same gym, Bokasi, training, and yeah, that's when I actually started. I think that's when I'd say I started like knowing more about training. So that's when I was training like pretty much my whole body, you know, everything, you know, more knowledge, you know, training, and then towards the end of 2018, I took super test. I think around 2018 October, I took super test. Yeah, I looked insane. I wish I still had pictures, man. I looked insane. I took super test then, put on decent size and strength. This was towards 2018, and then I remember people then were just like, bro, what the flip is going on? But I was still training consistently, check. And then I don't take anything. 2018, no, 2018. That's when I took the. 2019, I don't take anything. 2020, 2021, and then 2021, I go on a cycle of Deca. Oh, the worst cycle, bro. What a waste. What a waste. Didn't even PCT. Like, and mind you, bro, like I didn't have the knowledge. I wasn't even taking PCT after these cycles. So I take Deca, and it was like a half cycle. I'm like dead ass broke. I don't have money. I'm not a student anymore. I dropped out of university. I'm just living to look good for the weekend, so I can go FSU. Imagine that. Peak degeneracy. So I take Deca, and I don't have the money to like buy the other vials, and just it caused me a whole lot of problems, that Deca cycle, bro. I still cringe when I think about it. So I don't take anything. 2020, 2020. That was 2021. I think 2022, I think, was my worst year when it came to my fitness, mental health as well. I was just yeah, like depressed, bro. It wasn't 2022. I didn't. I think 2022 I gymmed like for 2 months the whole year. So 2022 I didn't gym. 2023 starts. Okay, I gym now. I don't know if this is gonna be relevant. Now I'm smoking marijuana. So towards the end of 2022, I get reintroduced to marijuana, and I actually love it. Like I hated marijuana before. I tried it, cough like uncomfortable, and then I just start smoking marijuana every day in 2022. No, yeah, towards the end of 2022, and then throughout 2023, I'm just marijuana, marijuana, marijuana. So I'm lifting, but I remember like we were also going through I think we were going through a rough patch here at home. Like, I think my mom was struggling financially. Um, I didn't have a job. My sister didn't have a job, I think. Yeah, I think for like a great year. So I'm eating like one egg, sausage. I'm going to the gym. I'm smoking marijuana though with this mate of mine every day. So I'm gymming, but I'm skinny. This is 2023. Like I lose a lot of muscle mass. And then oh I get a job 2023 around September, and I make insane gains. I actually go to a nice gym now. I'm still smoking marijuana though, but I can buy myself supplements, I can buy food or whatever. And I think that was probably the craziest transformation of my life. I look lean, I look big, I feel good, I look aesthetic AF 2023. And I'm natty then. So I hadn't taken juice in like 2 years. And then towards the end of 2023, 2024 had a rough start to the year. You know, bad decisions, bro. I blew my money on all these things. Alcohol, you know. I remember there was this girl that I was with. Um, yeah, just crazy stuff, bro. Just like being financially irresponsible. 2023, towards the end of end of 2023, New Year's 22. So 2024, I'm broke. I can't even buy myself like proper food, supplements. I'm just a bum at that time, bro. At that point. And then I'm just like, okay, 2024, when I finally got paid again, January 2024, I buy a super test again, and yeah, I lock in, put on mass, looking lean once again. And yeah, that was the last time I ever took gear. 2024, I think from Jan to like March or April, yeah, last time I took gear. And what I can say is that gear works, but if you're not trying to be a pro bodybuilder or trying to compete, just don't take it, bro. I remember after taking super test 2024, bro, I was losing it mentally. I don't even know. And it was like a mixture of things. I was working a job that I hate. You know, I was just so not content with life, who I was, where I was, depressed, immersed. I remember being like so deeply immersed in hustle culture. Yeah, bro, I'm just a mess pretty much. And I've also just got off super test, and I feel depressed, bro, like anxiety going through the roof. So that was the only cycle 2024 which I took PCT after. I think I took Clomid. Yeah, fast forward till now. Well, this year I really dialed in my training as well. I look good. I feel really good. I've been off for like the past month. It's been like crazy. I got injured, and all these things, got sick, so I haven't been. But prior to that, I was looking really good, looking really lean, natural, like 100% natural. So it's been 2 years since I took gear, and I'm never taking gear ever again. I think I'm lucky, you know, in my case, my testosterone was able to like, you know, rise back up naturally because I feel like I feel strong, I feel lean, I feel energetic, I feel powerful. So yeah, also God's grace, also God's grace. So yeah, that's my story. Crazy stuff, bro. Crazy stuff. But I'm never taking gear ever again. I think I found a way to like look good, look lean, but stay big, you know. I think diet wise, this is the most dialed in I've ever. Avoiding sugar. I'm yeah, I'm eating the right stuff, intermittent fasting, but still training, you know, heavy. And this is the fittest I've been. This is the most athletic I've been since I started lifting. Maybe I'd say in about 7, 8 years, it's the most athletic and healthy I've even felt. Um, yeah, God saved, Christ is Lord. I just feel amazing, bro. I just feel amazing. Yeah, and God forbid I ever have to take that stuff ever again. So I'm never going on gear. I don't want to go on gear. I think I'm doing really well without it. Feel good, look good without it. So yeah, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Woo, woo, woo.